Party foul. I think I shattered the screen even worse. So here's the deal. I thought I was going to come out here and just like wham bam put that sucker in there. I can't even get this transmission off, let alone put this one on. I thought I had to take these two bolts out right here and then, you know, remove it. Or like I thought maybe there was like maybe another one down here somewhere, or, you know, whatever. You have to take, from what I'm reading on the ham, you have to take this whole thing apart. Like you have to take this off, then you have to take that off, then you have to take, you know, this is unbelievable. I never saw anything like it. It's definitely not like a turbo 350 where you can just put it on and off. That's what I was expecting. So I'm really not any further. And this is like 2 hours later than the scene you saw before this. I've been just trying to figure it out. I took this off and I started taking bolts out of the flywheel, but that's not helping me any. I don't know. I see, I want to take this off. So I got these loose, but then this one down here, it just keeps spinning. It doesn't come loose. Like this one will come the whole way off, and so will this one. But the two bottom ones just spin. They don't go anywhere. I don't understand. So I'm just going to keep going on it, man, and I'll update you. So this is what we're down to now. You know, I had to take it apart in 3 different pieces to get to this point. I had to get the flex plate off that's back there. And I mean, this was a real shit show. I didn't realize it would be this tough to get the transmission out. And I hope that the other one isn't a pain to get on, so we'll see. I'm going to probably be dropping this on the ground and then using a breaker bar. Oh, what was that? Ah, it was a bit. Yep, breaker bar. Alright, so clearly I've never done this before because it took me about 3 hours to get this off. There's pieces everywhere. I probably ruined that transmission because I lost a piece of a bearing. So it's kind of sucks that I ruined a perfectly good transmission. I mean, it could be put back together. I didn't ruin it, but I'm not putting it back together. If someone else wants to put it back together, come get it the hell out of here and put it together. That sucked. That was ridiculous. But now that I know what to do, I'm not even going to jinx it. I guess I'll say it because I'm on video and I'll have to figure it out either way. But I'm hoping that that goes easier because I know what to do, sort of. But that's a different type of transmission. So hopefully everything bolts up. Let's pray. But if I was filming all this, my phone would have been on filming for the last like 4.5 hours straight. And it would have just used up all my memory and my battery would be dead. So I'm just going to do piece by piece here. Alright, so that, as you can see my contraption there, I had to put my knee on that, hold the back side down while I tilted it forward while jacking this up all at the same time. And then, oh man, that was something. And then, let's get a light on in here. Now I have to line up these bolts, and as you can see, it's not quite lined up. So I have to maneuver that in there and put the 3 bolts in, torque them down, and then put the starter on, and then put all these other bolts in. It's about 10 of them or 8 of them, and then it's on. Now you can see where that's lined up. That wasn't easy to do. This isn't going to be easy either. Oh my. Remind me why I work on cars again? I gotta bring it down further. The whole shebang, because I can't even. Jeez Louise. Alright, we'll try this again. I need 2 hands. A funny story as I slowly tighten this last nut. So this is a stud, right? Because this right here, the spring, is in the way. So you can't fit a bolt down in there. There's a bolt under there, but this is just a stud, right? And I could not find it. I couldn't find the nut that went on this for the life of me. And I just figured, like, I couldn't remember if I ever had it or not. So I was like, well, looks like I'm going down to the parts store. The parts store is like 12 miles away or something like that. It's like back country. And I'm halfway there and I realized that the parts store is probably closed. So I Google it and yeah, it's closed. So I get back here and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna like be done with this. And I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna drop the engine in and just not even worry about the starter for now. And I go to get my wrench off my shelf up here. And there's the nut and the correct bolt that goes in there. So, you know, it's just funny how things work out, and I'm not complaining. I'd much rather have it than have to wait till tomorrow and take the stud down with me to match it up, because it's a weird fine thread stud. And yeah, this is like such a process because the stud wasn't really in. There we go. This is the last of it though. It's on. That was quite a process. And then we're about to drop it in here. Right as I'm about to drop this in here, I have to readjust the chain, and I peeked in here just to make sure where the mount holes were, and they don't match up at all, man. As you can see, there they are. See how far apart they are? Well, here are the mounts for underneath here. They're literally like 4 inches apart. What's that mean? I have no idea, man. I'm gonna try to figure it out though, because I've never done this before. I gotta figure out how this is gonna mount in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so silly me who knows nothing found out that this engine is a newer engine, which I knew that, but I don't know anything about these engines. So the mounts are going to be different, and we have side mounts, which I'm making a template for. I just made the indents of the, you know, holes, and I'll cut that out. I'm going to make my own mounts because I'm a cheap bastard. And then I have to make a cross mount, a piece of steel there that's going to accommodate to that smaller mount, which will raise the engine up about a half an inch, but oh well. And because if I don't, you know, all that would be mounting is, you know, there's a tranny mount and then this front mount, which would make the engine kind of, it could like teeter, and you need side mounts. So I'm going to fabricate them, and that's kind of what I'm up to before I can drop it in. So yay, extra work. So this is what we're looking at here. Just ignore that nice little weird hole there. But yeah, this is I'm going to make 2 of these, and we'll go from there. After carefully taking measurements and, you know, so I don't run into a problem each step of the way, I decided to measure from, you know, I don't know if you can see it down there because I'm not looking at the camera, but the drive shaft to the front cross member where the engine is going to go in, I took a measurement and it's about 54 inches. And then I measured from the front of the engine to the tail of the transmission. It's like 66 inches. So I'm like 10 inches off, which means I'm gonna have to cut the drive shaft and everything for this. So this is turning into a huge headache. And it's a headache that I really don't want to take on, but like I'm already this far in it, but I mean, holy crap, man. Who would have thought? You know, I didn't know that these engines were longer than one another. I thought that a straight six was a straight six. This thing is not set up for a straight six. And that's why, you know, I mean, this had a straight six in it, obviously, but it came with a 3-speed on the column, which is a major difference, apparently, than a Powerglide. And I didn't realize that. You can read all this stuff on the ham all you want, and people are like, oh, I do swaps all the time. I swap my transmission with a Powerglide, and, you know, I didn't realize that it was this crazy. So I'm going to keep pressing on. I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, man. Like, I really don't want to cut the drive shaft or find a new drive shaft. I mean, this is just like turning into like a huge headache. But I got to get this thing running one way or the other. And if I try to put a, you know, V8 in it with a turbo 350, that might be my route. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to really sleep on it tonight and decide what I want to do. But I might go that route. That's what it's turning into, because if I have to do all this anyway, why not put a V8 in it? I did this out of convenience because I thought that this would drop right in. It was like a no-brainer. Like, oh, it came with a straight six. I'm just going to put a straight six in it. It should all line up. Well, the mounts don't line up. So with a V8, I have to make motor mounts anyway. And nothing's lining up. So here we are.